Chapter 1. The night stank of ash and fear. It pressed against the skin like a heavy blanket, making every breath tight. 5 figures stood in a circle. Their long black cloaks swallowed the faint torchlight, hiding their faces deep under their hoods. They spoke in one voice, a low, rough chant. The words twisted in the air like a curse, heavy and sharp, wrong in a way that made the ground itself feel unsteady. In the center, a woman struggled against the grip of the tallest figure. Her wrists were tied so tight that her skin was raw. She pulled and twisted, but the ropes cut deeper. Her screams tore through the dark night, wild and desperate. A knife pressed against her throat. Its edge was cold and hard, catching the firelight with every shake of her body. "Please," she cried, her voice breaking as tears rolled down her face. "Let me go. I have a son. He needs me." Her eyes searched through the shadows until they landed on him. A small boy stood nearby, trapped in the arms of another cloaked figure. His little hands clawed at the empty air, reaching for her. His cries louder than the chanting, but the cloaked figures did not stop. Their voices grew stronger, their chant pounding in rhythm, drowning out her pleas. Each word hit heavier, like stones falling on her chest. The woman locked her eyes on her son. Her lips trembled as she whispered, barely loud enough to rise above the voices. "I love you, Elvas." The knife slashed. Her scream cut short. Blood sprayed across the dirt, dark and heavy. Her body fell limp, collapsing into a pool that spread fast beneath her. The boy screamed until his sobs broke into choking gasps. He called out, his voice shaking with fear and grief, but no one listened. The figures did not pause. Their chant carried on, steady and cruel, as if her death was nothing more than another line in their dark ritual. 15 years passed. Elvas walked through the crowded halls of Avalon's only school. Music blasted in his headphones, so loud it made his ears ache. He hoped the noise would drown out the whispers, but it never did. Demon, curse, freak. The words slipped through the music like knives. Students moved aside as he walked past. Some sneered, some laughed under their breath, others muttered words sharp enough to cut. Their stares weighed on him, each one a reminder of what he was to them. Elvas kept his head low. His dark hair fell over his eyes, hiding them. His hands stayed buried deep in the pockets of his old jacket. He made himself small, made himself unseen, because that was the only way to survive. This was his life. Hate was constant, and he had learned to carry it. He let it slide off him, like water running down a wall. At least, that's what he told himself. Then he saw her. Leora. She stood at the end of the hall, surrounded by friends. Her silver hair glowed under the fluorescent lights, each strand shining bright. Her laughter rang sharp, filling the hallway with life. She was the pride of the werewolf pack. Everyone said she would soon be crowned their fiercest warrior. Elvas stopped walking, his breath caught in his chest. She was everything he wasn't. Strong, loved, admired. She burned bright while he stayed in the shadows. His eyes stayed on her, his chest tight. She didn't see him. She never did. She had no idea that the quiet boy hiding in the hall couldn't look away from her. "Move, jerk!" A hard shove sent Elvas crashing to the floor. His headphones flew off, sliding across the tiles. Laughter broke out around him, echoing through the hall like a cruel song. He looked up, already knowing who stood over him. Marcus. The vampire smirked down at him, sharp and full of arrogance. Mark and Luke, his usual cronies, stood at his sides. Their eyes gleamed red, their fangs faintly showing. Marcus was tall and broad, his hair slicked back neatly. He carried himself like a king already, like the future ruler everyone expected him to become. Elvas pushed himself onto his knees. He stayed quiet. He had been through this too many times to waste words. Fighting back never changed anything. Marcus stepped closer, planting his body in front of Elvas, blocking him from standing. "What's this? No apology?" Marcus asked, his voice carrying through the hall. "You think you can just walk by like you're somebody?" The crowd pressed closer. More students leaned in, hungry for a scene. Elvas finally raised his eyes. His dark gaze met Marcus's. His voice was steady, low but firm. "I didn't touch you," he said. "Maybe you should apologize." The hall went silent for a moment. Then Marcus laughed, loud and sharp. His fangs flashed as he grabbed Elvas by the collar and slammed him against the lockers with a harsh clang. The crowd gasped, then cheered. Their faces lit up with excitement, as if violence was their favorite show. Marcus leaned in close. His breath smelled rotten, his voice thick with scorn. "You're nothing, demon. A nobody. I'll be the next vampire king and you'll still be crawling. You should be on your knees begging for mercy." Laughter swelled again, stronger than before. "Vampire king? More like vampire king of hell." The mocking words came from behind the crowd. The deep voice cut through the laughter like a blade. The students stepped aside, parting as Oren walked forward, the alpha of the werewolf pack. Broad, powerful, and confident, Oren carried himself like someone who feared no one. His dark eyes burned as he locked them on Marcus. 3 of his packmates followed, scarred and smirking. They didn't need to speak. Their presence alone was enough to make the air heavy. Marcus dropped Elvas and spun toward Oren, baring his fangs fully, his fists clenched tight. "What's your business, mutt?" Marcus growled. Oren laughed, a low, dangerous sound. "Didn't know vampires were so fond of bullying weak kids," he said. "Guess that's why you always need your little helpers." The crowd stirred, whispers rising. Tension sparked in the air. Marcus stepped closer, his eyes glowing with rage. "You want to test me, dog? I'll rip your throat out right here." Oren grinned, steady and fearless. "Try it. I could use a new rug." "Stop!" The word rang across the hall, sharp and powerful. Everyone froze. Alira, the school's safekeeper, stood at the edge of the scene. Though small, her presence filled the space with authority. Her dark robes moved with her steps, her piercing blue eyes cutting through every student in the crowd. "Enough of this," she said, her voice sharp as a whip. "Get to class. Now." No one argued. The crowd scattered quickly, muttering as they left. Some glanced back, but no one dared disobey her. Marcus glared at Oren one last time, his jaw tight. With a hiss, he turned and stormed away with Mark and Luke at his side. Oren smirked before leading his pack out, the tension still hanging heavy in the air. And then Elvas was left alone. His headphones still lay on the floor, the music gone silent. His chest pounded from the scene, though he hadn't moved a muscle. "Elvas." Alira's voice came firm, softly softer now, but still sharp enough to cut through the noise that lingered in his head. "Stay. You're coming with me." He hesitated, glancing toward the emptying hall, but her tone left no choice. He bent down, picked up his headphones, and followed her. The stares from the crowd still weighed on his back as he walked toward her office, unsure what was waiting for him, but certain it would not be good.